Hey, what's up, fam? We're going to talk about a new series today. I believe this is actually the newest series, the very first series to come out since the Shonen Jump app. The subscription service has made its way smashing into onto people's phones and probably making a crap ton of money and making Western comics look like a joke at this point, sadly enough. But we got something interesting to talk about. We don't need to dwell on their downfall and the rise of manga even further. Let's talk about this new series, How Warden Higuma, which the premise the premise I think is kind of interesting. It makes me think of Yu Yu Hakusho with that whole going around. You're being worked by the Prince of Hell. Was Enma king or was he prince? I don't know. Royal blood. Somebody will probably correct me. But working for him this time, it seems way more what's the word I want to look for? Way more driven of the origins of why this character is doing this. Whereas, stuff kind of got unfortunate for Yusuke. For Haguma in this series, it's way more of a family task. It's been passed down. This is something he's got to do because it's been put upon his family after a bunch of creatures from hell that were, had time they had to serve, escaped 400 years prior to where the series starts, and they need to get all of them before, ending this duty. And I'm not going to talk about the long lengths of the chapter. Obviously, this was a chapter one, and I'm talking about chapter two because only two are out so far. We're just going to kind of TLDR it, and I would recommend going to check this out. This is pretty cool so far. I'm just going to go over kind of the little bit of the things we saw in chapter one. Like I said, I'm not going to line it out as deeply. You get to see some interesting bits from character Haguma. He's getting yelled at by this dude on a bus who he just is not thinking about it. He tries really hard to not really get angry, to not act accordingly. He's got more on his mind. He seems both kind of reserved, but a little bit laid back and relaxed at the same time, which I think is kind of interesting. And you get to see his powers later too, which I think is probably the most interesting thing so far. Besides his, look at that sick outfit. That outfit looks awesome. But his power, his whole thing when he takes out these demons, he cuts off their hands so he can use their abilities, and he could use them as pretty much like these little familiars, as well as like merge them into his own body to use like their actual power. But what's really cool about it, for one, obviously, I think it'll be really cool late game when he's apparently gonna have all these different powers, all from these different hands, and just seeing them on panel, like when you get to see him later on, just showing them all of them at one point. They all have like different things, and they all seem pretty basic, but it's just going to be that cycling through all these basic abilities, maybe combining them at some point, maybe trading them up for better ones. It's pretty interesting just to see them kind of all going out, but also the bits you get from his character on top of that, just him using all these hands that he cut off from demons that are, they have to work for him to atone for their sins, for their crimes, because you get this really cool bit in chapter two where all your bad deeds are done with your hands. I mean, that's not entirely true, but I get where they're going. And, he's pretty much trying to make them, like I said, atone for their crimes, trying to make them better, and that way they can hopefully serve their time in hell and then get reincarnated. I believe reincarnation is part of Japanese culture lore, isn't it? I don't know. Either way, and you just see him like they're like making his breakfast, helping him get his shirt on, and he's just laying there. And he's like sits in a chair and they push him around his house. He makes him play Smash Bros with him and stuff. It's pretty entertaining, but also telling for his character without having to do a whole lot. Like if you just saw him do these things by himself, it'd just be like, okay, this is a routine. But the fact that he's having these severed demon hands that are supposed to be aiding him in taking out other demons and working off their moral debt, and instead they're making this dude rice and cleaning up his laundry, which I think is really interesting. But you see in this first chapter him taking out this really cool looking like blade corded demon where it's like these long thin edge tendrils, as well as in the second one him going this really cool fiery spider thing. I'm not going to try and do too much of like a normal chapter review because this is more talking about the series so far. Only 2 chapters in. By chapter 3, since it'll be the next one, obviously 1, 2, 3, it'll be much more of a review. This one being the start is just more of talking about it. So I think that's gonna be pretty sick, and I look forward to where this series goes. It's got a very nice catch. A lot of these new series have been very compelling off the first one, just because we're getting so many fresh minds, which I think is really cool. And I think Shonen Jumps, I think they said they're gonna one of their plans to help a lot with their service is just to expand heavily, and I'm really hoping they do stuff like bring back Toriko and give the creator of Red Sprite and like Red Sprite, who else made oh god, Goblin Knight, another chance, and hopefully be a lot leaner and less uptight, as well as Golem Hearts. Please bring back Golem Hearts, Shonen Jump. Anyway, check out this series, Hell Warden Higuma. The series is right there. You can easily look it up on the Shonen Jump app. I think you can read these first 2 for free, but I would recommend signing up for their subscription service. It's $2 a month. You get all this manga as well as more stuff that's going to be coming out. It's all professionally translated in nice HD. And actually, you know what's going to be really cool is this means we're going to keep the color pages, because one of the things, just side topic really quick, a lot of the chapters when they get a color page and they're translated over here in, outside of Japan, and when you find them again online, you get the sick color pages, and then you find them again, and it's after certain websites like upload the official pages, and you don't get the color pages more because they're getting it off the digitals that aren't putting out anymore. But when they do straight to digital color like this, I mean, you're gonna always have beautiful panels like this. You're gonna look at this forever. Anyway, this is really cool. Check this series out. Tell me in the comments if you've read this or if at least you're interested in what you think, as well as like the video if you enjoy this kind of content, and subscribe if you want more of this. I'm gonna do a couple more videos tonight. I gotta do a New Year's video. Actually, I don't even think this is gonna come out. It probably come out on New Year's Day. So Happy New Year when this video comes out. Now I have to release it tomorrow. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone already who subscribed, and I hope you guys all have a Happy New Year. Thank you very much.